Amethyst Diamond Casino. As Thomas Martin entered the casino with the two girls, whispers spread throughout the room. People knew of their criminal past and the danger they posed. The trio had recently escaped from a high-security prison, leaving law enforcement agencies baffled. Their escape had been meticulously planned, showcasing their resourcefulness and cunning. Their reputation preceded them, and it was evident that Lily and Emma were not to be underestimated. They possessed their own unique forms of danger, with Lily's physical strength and Emma's technological expertise. Together, they formed a formidable team capable of executing intricate and audacious criminal schemes. Masson sat in his seat and observed every movement of Thomas. Instead of approaching Masson, Thomas went to the Corleone and Moretti families. These two mafias, who were also business partners and founders of Delish Delight Company, found themselves entangled in a perilous drug-dealing case within the confines of the casino. Weren't they competitors of Lopez Food Company? So why was Ethan going against his mother and dealing with them? Masson shrugged and stood up to meet Thomas. Leaning back, he whispered the same words in Thomas's ear that Marcus spoke at the Blue Fressi bar. Deal 37. Masson didn't yet know the importance of those words, but he still felt compelled to share them. Thomas carefully examined the mustache on his face and chuckled, motioning for him to sit. "You will be playing in my place today, Marcus," Thomas said, placing his hand on Masson's shoulder. Masson nodded in agreement, displaying his confidence, and began observing the Corleone and Moretti families seated before him. His eyes narrowed. Corleone family. Benjamin Corleone, the aging patriarch of the Corleone family, exuded an air of authority and power. Dressed in a shawl lapel suit, he had a black and white beard and a piercing dark brown gaze. Luca, the snake, Benjamin's trusted lieutenant, was known for his cunning and ruthlessness. Sophia Corleone, Benjamin's daughter, was a femme fatale with a taste for danger. She possessed striking beauty, with blonde hair and dark brown eyes like her father, often seen in elegant dresses and expensive jewelry. Moretti family. Henry Moretti, the head of the Moretti family, was a towering figure with a shaved head and a thick, graying beard. He favored dark tweed suits and was rarely seen without his gold chain necklace. Marco, the shadow, Henry's right-hand man, was a master of disguise and deception. Marco often changed his appearance, making it difficult to identify him. Mia Moretti, Henry's daughter, was a woman of intelligence and ambition. She bore a striking resemblance to her father, with short black hair, amber eyes, and a penchant for tweed suits. And Masson had to play with those individuals. On one side of a spacious table sat Mia Moretti and Sophia Corleone. The competition was to be among the three of them, both for this game and for his destiny. As the cards were distributed, a surge of excitement coursed through him. He had effectively infiltrated Marcus's realm, and now it was his moment to demonstrate his worth. With every hand, he played with precision and expertise, meticulously implementing the strategies he had gleaned from observing Ethan during his espionage. Hours passed, and the chips piled up in front of him. The other players watched in awe as Masson seemed to have an uncanny ability to predict their moves. The casino staff whispered amongst themselves, impressed by his seemingly unbeatable winning streak. But deep down, he knew that his time as Marcus was limited. Eventually, someone would discover the truth, and he would have to face the consequences. But for now, he relished the thrill of the game, determined to make the most of this unexpected opportunity. After all, in the world of spies and deception, there was no room for sentimentality. It was all about survival, and tonight he was determined to come out on top. This game was just an excuse. Benjamin Corleone and Henry Moretti actually met Thomas Martin for another purpose. Benjamin leaned in, speaking softly. "Thomas, have you brought the paintings we discussed?" Thomas nodded. "Yes, Mr. Corleone. The paintings are ready for display. Our artists have done their job well." His voice was cool and controlled as always. Henry Moretti smirked. "Excellent. Let's ensure they find their way to the gallery without any mishaps." The words were spoken carefully and quietly so that only they could hear. "Rest assured, Mr. Moretti," Thomas grinned. "Our curators will handle it discreetly. No one will suspect a thing." He interjected, his voice filled with confidence. "And don't worry, the curators we've hired are experts in their fields. They know how to handle delicate matters." Benjamin leaned back, a sly smile playing on his lips. "I trust your curators, Thomas, but we must remain vigilant. There are other players in this game, and we can't afford any unwanted attention. We've heard rumors of a rival gang trying to infiltrate our operation. We need to be one step ahead of them." Henry's voice was laced with caution, and his eyes were hard, as if he was judging Thomas. It didn't bother Thomas as much as it did most people. Thomas nodded, his expression serious. "I've taken precautions, Mr. Moretti. Our security team is on high alert. No one will get past them." Benjamin and Henry signaled to Luca and Marco, who followed Emma and Lily down into the casino basement. They opened the large wooden door made of solid oak, which led into a vast and dark space with high-ceiling fans swirling about like leaves in a breeze. The wooden door creaked loudly when they locked it from the inside after everyone was safely inside. The four young people were greeted by an eerie atmosphere. There was only one light source in the room, which shone from somewhere near the center, where a large crate was covered with black fabric that looked like a tent. Luca and Marco both pointed over the top of Lily's shoulder, their eyes darting back and forth over the crate.